My name is Justin Tendek, and I'm a technical analyst on the APS team. I'm excited to share the work we've done integrating advanced cluster security, ACS, into our team's workflow with Jira. Prior to ACS, our team used the security scanner Aqua to flag vulnerabilities within our images. Essentially, we had a script in GitHub Actions that would run each week, pull in newly discovered vulnerabilities, and post those to our Jira board. This was wonderful because it granted greater visibility into how our application was doing on the security front. Unfortunately, Aqua was demised and we lost its visibility. Aqua was later replaced with a new security solution, ACS. Fortunately, ACS does offer a number of integrations out of the box, including with Jira. We tried the Jira integration, but we felt it wasn't quite what we were after. One problem with the integration is it was running during each deployment and created a lot of duplicate issues on our Jira board. However, in the process of finding a resolution, we discovered a REST API for ACS that would enable similar functionality as our previous Aqua scanner script. So that's the solution we ended up going with, and we are currently in the process of trialing. Essentially, the way the script works is it collects all security violations flagged by ACS. Some time passes, and during this period, ACS is continually running and flagging new security violations in our OpenShift environments. After this period, about a week later, our script runs again. It pulls in all violations and compares them to the previous run. If any new violations are discovered, these and only these are posted to Jira. That way, duplicate issues are removed, cutting out a lot of noise, while also granting insight into what is going on in ACS. So I'll just showcase a really quick demo here. So for this demo, I'll just be using some sample data. But normally this runs on a schedule. But for now, I'm just going to have it trigger on a push to the dev branch. So if we go over here, we can see a list of old violations that would have occurred during the previous run. So we have this one alert with ID 0, and then another alert with ID 1. So these may have been found during the initial run. Some time will pass, and as time passes, ACS will run and trigger or find any new security violations. So perhaps a week later, we can see that we still have our alert with ID 0, our alert with ID 1, and then we also have this newly discovered violation. So we only want this new violation to be posted, just because these old ones would have been posted in a previous run. So I'll just trigger a new build right here. And so if we head over to our GitHub Actions, we should see a new workflow triggered. But rather than waiting for that, I'll just go to a previous run. And so essentially what happens is it downloads the previous result as an artifact, and then the Python script will run. It will pull in the old scan results, and then it will send in a request for the new scan results. It will compare them, and if there is a difference, it will post those to Jira. So in this case, since we're just using test data, all we should see in Jira is this single new issue, because that's the only new issue. So going back, this is just finishing up. Oh, so now it's complete. So for demo purposes, I also just had it update an existing ticket. And so this is the ticket that is created. And as you can see here, it has just created a ticket with that one new vulnerability. So come next sprint or at an earlier time, our product owner will see this. And if it's high enough severity, it will make it into the sprint or into the next sprint. So you can also specify the severity, so you can have it look out for, say, only high severity vulnerabilities or important ones or low ones. Right now, we just have it flag high and critical vulnerabilities. And so yeah, so just looking at our actual an actual ticket created by Jira, so we can see this was during our initial run, so there were quite a few vulnerabilities flagged. So it ended up creating 6 tickets, and within each one, we can see a breakdown of the policy that was violated. There's also a link to the violation, so a developer can go in and see what the issue was and fix it from there. So right now, as I mentioned before, we are just kind of in the phase of trialing this. But I do have a repo here if folks want to check it out and maybe run it themselves. I'll share that. So there is just a little bit of setup that is required. You do have to create a few secrets like a GitHub token, Jira API key, ACS key, and then there is just an initial run setup that you might want to go through when you first try it out. But yeah, if you want to have a look at it, have any ideas for improvements or comments, concerns, let me know. I'd love to hear it. So yeah, I'll just go back to the slides. That's it for the demo. So how has this helped our team? So we are still in the early phases of trying this integration, but the great thing about it so far is it has given us visibility into what ACS has to offer. Security violations are now front and center, allowing us to mitigate them in a more timely manner. Security is very important to our team, doubly so since we are integrating BC Services Card into our services. So that's all I want to share. Just wanted to say thanks to Elena for inviting me to speak, Nick Corcoran for his help with our initial Jira integration setup and for answering all of my questions, and to the Platform Services team for having me speak and for their support. Thanks again. If there's any questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and thanks again. Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, thanks so much for doing that. That looks great. How do you guys treat things that are maybe sometimes within ACS, when you get the reports come out, ACS might not notice when something's vulnerable on initial release of a vulnerability. How does your team plan to kind of capture that, or have you guys kind of thought about that? It's like, for example, a 0-day comes out, ACS might not pick it up till the next day. Do you guys have a process about how frequently you'd run the scans to do that? Just like you mentioned, the once a week. Just want to clarify.
Yeah, so right now we do have it kind of set to run every week, but we are thinking of having it more frequent if we find that it is perhaps missing something. But yeah, we're still kind of getting a feel for ACS, how everything works. So yeah, there's still like I guess a lot we're still trying to figure out, and this is sort of our initial run. So yeah.
No, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, it was a really great demo. I just was curious about that. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everyone. That's all we have for this particular meetup. So I guess we can let you guys go a little bit early, and or if anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to ask them. Well, I'm not seeing any, so I expect people will probably. So if you guys want, I don't think we'll end the meeting quite yet, just in case there are any additional questions that might pop up in the next few minutes. I might stick around to answer those, but If you have no additional questions, then I will see you guys later.